You are tuned in to the 5-Minute Signal. I am Aris Sterling, Performance Research Expert. This is not a health podcast. This is your maintenance manual for the body. We don't do hope here. We do reality. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get to work. The news today is dominated by a trend I call fiber washing. As consumers become increasingly obsessed with their continuous glucose monitor data, the food industry has responded by injecting isolated synthetic fibers into everything from keto-friendly breads to low-calorie ice creams. You see them on the label as polydextrose, soluble corn fiber, or chicory root extract. On paper, these products boast impressive fiber counts that ostensibly lower the net carb total. However, real-time biological data from high-performance cohorts is telling a different story. Users are reporting significant glucose excursions and delayed inflammatory responses, despite the high-fiber marketing. The trend is clear. We are trying to use chemistry to solve a problem that is fundamentally rooted in physics and structural biology. We are treating fiber as a supplement rather than a structural component of human fuel. Why it matters comes down to a concept I call metabolic friction. In a state of nature, carbohydrates are never found in isolation. They are locked within a matrix of cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin. When you consume a whole plant, your body has to perform mechanical and chemical work to unlock the energy. This creates metabolic friction, a deliberate slowing of the transit and absorption of glucose into the bloodstream. Think of fiber not as a nutrient, but as a biological mesh filter. This mesh increases the viscosity of the chyme in your small intestine, physically shielding sugar molecules from digestive enzymes and slowing their diffusion toward the intestinal wall. By maintaining this friction, you prevent the rapid insulin surges that cause systemic glycation, a process where sugar bonds to proteins and fats, essentially rusting your tissues from the inside out. For longevity, the goal is a flat glucose curve, and metabolic friction is the only reliable way to achieve it without total carbohydrate deprivation. The hard truth is that the fiber listed on a processed food label is often biologically inert regarding glucose control. The industry has stripped away the physical architecture of the plant and replaced it with functional fibers that dissolve completely in water. These isolated fibers might help with bowel regularity, but they lack the structural integrity to create the viscous barrier required for metabolic mastery. They offer no friction. When you eat a processed fiber bar, the sugar hits your system almost as does a soda, because there is no cellular wall to slow it down. Furthermore, the modern RDA of 25 to 30 grams is a survival minimum, not an optimization target. If you are operating at a high cognitive or physical output, relying on the bare minimum of structural fiber is like running a high-performance engine with a clogged and degraded oil filter. You are allowing spikes of oxidative stress to hit your mitochondria every time you eat, regardless of how clean you think your diet is. The actionable move requires a transition from fiber tracking to structural loading. First, implement the 10-minute preload. Before your largest meal of the day, consume 5 grams of a viscous fiber, specifically psyllium husk in water or a small bowl of raw cruciferous vegetables. This creates a physical primer in the gut that establishes the mesh filter before the main bolus of food arrives. Second, prioritize intact cellularity. When selecting carbohydrates, the goal is to choose foods where the cell walls are still visible. A whole lentil is superior to lentil flour. A whole apple is superior to applesauce. If the food has been pulverized into a powder and then fortified with fiber, the metabolic friction is lost. Third, move your target to 40 grams of structural fiber per day. This is the threshold where we see the most significant stabilization of baseline insulin levels. This isn't about digestion. It's about engineering the internal environment to handle fuel with precision. I'm Aris Sterling. This has been the 5-Minute Signal. Stay sharp. This program is for informational and educational purposes only. Performance Research Expert Aris Sterling is not a licensed medical professional. This content is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider before making any health-related decisions.